Welcome to the Soccer Curious podcast, the beautiful game explained in our continuing series, the World Cup for Newbies. On today's episode, we are checking the vibes as we review the U.S. team's incredible win against Bosnia Herzegovina in the knockout round of 32. We will also look ahead to the Battle of Seattle, the USMNT's round of 16 clash against Belgium next Monday. My name is Brian Peter Falk. Joining me is SiriusXM DJ Mark Hamilton. Hello, Mark.
I have a red card.
You too.
Congrats.
They're giving them out everywhere.
That's fantastic. We support you, Flo Balogun. And acting guru himself, Gary Marks. Hello, Gary.
Okay. Hey, Brian, I just want to inform you that acting gurus, old news, I heretofore want to be known as Nutmeg King.
Oh, that's good. The king of the nutmegs?
Yeah.
You're
Nutmeg King.
This show because there were quite a few nutmegs in this.
I'm here to promote the viability of the nutmeg.
We support you. And a big soccer curious, welcome back to our favorite soccer journalist, Chandrima Chatterjee. Hello,
Chandrima.
Thank you so much. Missed you guys.
It's now the Chandrima team.
We're still in it. So not too late.
So good. So let's get started. We have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So, Chandrima, let's start with you since it's been a minute. Vibes. Wow. How are you feeling vibe-wise now? Group stage over, round of 32 in full swing, and the U.S. men advancing for the first time since 2002, which sounds absolutely crazy. How are the vibes feeling for you right now?
I feel like when we first started this podcast, I might have made a prediction that we would not make it this far. I think you were far more positive. So hats off, sir, because I did not have faith in this team, and Florin was yet untested, right?
Fair.
So we didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of them, honestly. I want them to make it through Belgium now. You know, that's
it feels like that's a must do.
I'm sweating, right? Is everybody? You should be sweating because that's going to be, if we do the same thing we did against the Netherlands, it's just going to be like, forget about it. Like in the
last World Cup, that was brutal. Well, there was a little bit of a coaching issue, which is that our coach got out coached. We have a lot going for us in this one, right? And as we get back to our vibe check, the U.S. has been the highest scoring team in the first half of games in the entire World Cup. Poch has now won the most World Cup games of any U.S. men's coach, which is a little bit of damning with faint praise. We have huge home field advantage. The crowds have been amazing. Country Roads is blaring over the speakers. It turns out Poch didn't realize this, is a big country music fan, so he knows all the words. So they're showing these shots of him singing all the words all the time. It just is, it's quite a thing. Gary, how are you feeling? How are your vibes feeling?
Now it finally makes sense. Like why they didn't choose a Luke Bryan song and they chose John Denver. I was wondering why that was. I'm feeling bad. I
why?
Cannot believe the red card for Flo Balogun. It's criminal. And I read on my QAnon community forum that it was because an official in the next game couldn't pronounce Flo Balogun, and so they gave him a red card.
Gary, you're like a pro now with the name. In the beginning, right? You guys were, yeah.
Now he's got it.
I've graduated from soccer curious to soccer obsessed. So.
Love it.
Good for you. What do you think, Mark? What are your vibes feeling up there in the great New England?
Well, I'm upset about the red card as well, especially after last night. So last night, I thought I weaseled my way into the Portuguese American Club to watch the Portugal-Croatia match.
Okay, great game.
As it turns out, there were only about 5 people there for that, and 4 of them were rooting for Croatia.
Wow.
There was a moment in last night's match that I thought was identical to Flojo's red card.
Yeah.
And it was a yellow card. And now I'm wondering if the referee on the field had pulled a yellow card in that instance, would it have maybe not gone to VAR and then we wouldn't have this silly red card scenario and it'd be like, a yellow card, we'll move on.
Yeah. So here's This is so.
Brian, you're the referee, so tell us.
I know. So here's what I'm going to tell you. So we're moving off our vibes right into our recap of Bosnia Herzegovina.
Our vibes are angry,
For
dude.
those of you
We're
who didn't see
angry.
the game, first of all, shame on you. Secondly, there were 3 big moments in the game, right? 2 goals, but outside of the 2 amazing goals, there was this red card for Flo Balogun in like the 60-something minute. So here's how referees are trained to think about this. Okay, so contact fouls fall into 3 categories. The normal vanilla foul where, someone gets kicked in the foot or whatever and they fall down and a free kick is awarded to the team. Then there's the yellow cards and the red cards. So there is so vanilla fouls are thought of as do I have this right? Reckless. Hang on, let me get started again. Okay, I got it. So the fouls are thought of in 3 categories. Careless, which means just a normal vanilla foul. Reckless, if in the opinion of the referee the foul was reckless, is a yellow card. And then there's excessive force. So if the referee feels like somebody went in, studs up, and took out the player and could have broken the player's leg using excessive force, that is a straight red card. The problem is intent has nothing to do with any of the refereeing. It's not what the player intended to do, whether or not the player intended to break the guy's leg or whether or not the player was going for the ball and just happened to do something dangerous. The intent doesn't matter. It's just what the outcome is. My problem with it, and I would not have minded a yellow card in that scenario. I think that's fine. My problem with it is when the referee goes to look at VAR, like they make this symbol and they go over and look at the monitor on the sideline, which, by the way, players are not allowed to make this symbol. They're not allowed to go like this to encourage the referee to do it. That's a yellow card for doing that. Okay. Because they don't want players sitting there around the referee doing this all day. So that's a yellow card if you do that. Anyhow,
well, I heard the players can make the cow milking motion to simulate that.
That's okay. And they can do this, apparently, because everyone's doing that.
Right.
So when they go over there are 2 things that happen. First of all, psychologically, referees, when they are told, we want you to go and look at the monitor because we think the call on the field isn't correct, the referee already goes over there thinking, oh, I made an incorrect call, I've got to fix it. So already psychologically there is a predisposition. As soon as he went to the monitor, I was sitting here watching the game with my mom. I'm at my family homestead in upstate New York, and I said to her, it's going to be a red card because they're going over to look. The propensity is to change it. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't know why in VAR they show things in both slow-mo and still frames. I've actually never seen them show still frames like that. They should show it again from every angle they have, including angles the referee did not have access to. I think that's fine, but in real time.
Right.
Because when you show it in slow-mo, it looks bad. It looks like he could have broken his ankle. And therefore is a red card. And I know I don't agree with it. I would have given it a yellow. When you watch it in real time, Flo actually, once he feels that he's not touching the ground and he's clearly stepping on the guy's ankle, he pulls his leg up. He doesn't want to hurt the guy, and he also doesn't want to get what he thinks is going to be a yellow card, right? So he sort of holds up a little bit to avoid that. But as soon as he went over to the monitor, I thought, we're cooked.
So go ahead. Go ahead, Gary.
My favorite reference is basketball, where intent is important, and the intent to cause harm is considered in a flagrant foul, flagrant 1, flagrant 2. So it should be the same.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's very tough to tell intent in a bang bang moment like that. When you watch it in real time, it happens in like a millisecond.
I don't think that he intended to hurt him. I mean, he's not. I mean,
he didn't. He's going for the ball. They're both playing the ball. It's the type of game where there's a lot of guys going. A lot of guys when they go down and grab their ankle. I will tell you, having lost a lot of toenails playing soccer, it hurts. The soccer cleats, the soccer boots they're like ballet slippers. There's nothing on top. It's like a little piece of leather or vinyl so that you have a real feel when you kick the ball. So when you get stepped on with those hard cleats, it hurts. So I understand all of that.
So like why can't we what's the deal with the appeal?
There
Why
is
is
none.
that forbid? Yeah, why is that
Yeah, and
though?
it's just I don't know where people got on that idea. I think it's just people thinking of maybe other sports or some things in the Olympics you can
Well, like
appeal
in the non
things, and
right, it just
when the
feels
Russians have been doping, the Russians didn't dope on this one. There's no appeal.
oh,
There literally
If
is no
if
appeal
it,
process.
I read if they extended his suspension one more game, then you can appeal.
then you
Oh, you
can
can appeal and extend, right? But there's no reason that it would be his
yeah.
suspension would be more than one game. I mean, that
I
is
was
for
I was
one game is for like if you literally haul off and punch a guy right in the face.
Right.
Wait,
I was
Sorry,
hoping.
an extension of more than one game is if you really haul off and smash somebody in the face.
No, I was hoping they'd call up Flo and go, "Hey, listen, we're going to extend your suspension, so we extend it, wink, wink, and you guys call an appeal, and then we reverse the whole thing."
That would be nice.
So is he allowed to play against Belgium or not?
No, he's out
Okay.
against Belgium, which is a bit of an
It's
issue. when
criminal.
we'll
That's
talk about
criminal.
that. Yeah, it's bad.
That is a bit of an issue.
And especially of all the players that you don't want to have out,
Right.
the United States has not had a true striker in decades, and that's not a joke. And I heard another pod, one of our competing pods the other day, I was listening to it, saying, and they were agreeing, they feel like Flo Balogun is probably the best striker the U.S. men's national team has ever had.
Right.
So it's a big loss. And I'll tell you who else must be pissed is our buddy, friend of the pod, Gianni Infantino. Because he's the head of FIFA, and he's got to be thinking, here we are in the United States, trying a biggest commercial market, tons of money, wealthiest country on the planet. We're trying to grow this game and all that stuff. And some idiot ref hands out a red card, which could impact the U.S.'s ability to go further in the tournament with all these crazy crowds and John Denver and red, white, and blue and all this stuff. He must be pissed.
Right.
You know whose fault
I
it
didn't
is?
real we were in competition with other podcasts. This is new.
We're not.
Yeah,
We're
no,
better.
well, we
We're
got
better.
we got to edit that out.
Well, just to just add one quick counterpoint. Only because I've always been kind of like, how far can we take it?
Yeah.
How far can the U.S. go? If we were to jump over Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Our next competition would be just like, I mean, monumental.
Monumental.
The Iberian Peninsula. I
Yeah.
can't even think
I know.
of the
Well,
scoreline
but
against the
I
you know
love
what?
their jambon.
But that's okay because it's always going to be that way, right? Like after the group stage, even with a group stage of like, all the teams that we had this time, 48 teams, once you whittle it down, it gets whittled very quick. So getting to a quarterfinal, everybody who's left is going to be incredible.
Yeah, but I just
that's
got
just
two
the
words
way
for
it is.
you. 1980 U.S. hockey. That's all I got to
That's
say.
right. The
Aw,
miracle on
that's
ice.
Way more than 2 words, but okay.
We can have the miracle on
Yeah, sorry, I
grass.
didn't.
The miracle on turf. Yeah.
Such
So,
a beautiful
Anyway,
moment.
so
If in the event that we don't beat Belgium, there is a huge asterisk for all time because of this red card.
it will definitely be a talking point for a long time. There's no question. I do want to mention, because I know this is important to at least one of us on this pod. So the other big moment here, which is the thing that set the U.S. off on its winning course, which involved Flo Balogun, was the first goal, which Balogun scored. In which case, Malik Tillman, slips a ball through to Balogun. It's sort of like a defender kind of misplays it. It hits his feet, but Balogun ends up getting such a striker's goal. He ends up controlling it. As he's falling down, he shoots it. And what happens? The
Nutmeg.
ball hits off the inside of the keeper's right foot and goes through the wickets for a Gary Marks patented nutmeg. Trademark.
It's already a poster on my bedroom wall.
But when I saw that, it made me laugh, and I quickly wrote down that note, like, nutmegging the keeper. That is just such a thing of beauty. And by the way,
Love that badge.
we then didn't need the amazing Malik Tillman set piece later in the game because we won 1-0.
That was beautiful.
But what I will tell you is going up 2-0 really popped the balloon for Bosnia Herzegovina. when we did our sort of preview on that show, I think what we said was basically right, although they did not start Esmir Baraktarovic, which I thought was a very strange thing to not do in sort of a knockout round. And by the time he came in, we were seeing out the game. The other thing I will say, and Chandrima, I'm sure will agree with this, is the U.S. men's team has at other times struggled to see out a game, right? When they're up and all they have to do is just play defense and have like a professional performance, not let the other team score and just go to victory. We have struggled to do that. We did that this time with 10 men for a long effing time.
Yeah.
We had to play down a man, and we saw out that game. I can't think of a more professional performance by the U.S. men that I have ever seen, quite literally. It was, and to me, that is a lot to do with Poch. That is such good coaching. There was such good composure. Of course, they got on one of the players got off a couple great shots from Bosnia toward the end that looked pretty threatening, and that's going to happen when you're down a man. There's always a free man there somewhere. But I would say to a man, and if you look at I use FOTMob to look up the scores and stuff, and they do all the ratings, every player got a high rating, except for Flo Balogun, because when you get red card out of a game, it dips your rating, which is hilarious. Even though he was one of our best players on the day. But you cannot say enough about Malik Tillman, just incredible.
I don't think that it's common that correct me if I'm wrong, that you both score a goal and get a red card and get kicked out of the game. I think
it doesn't happen very
uncommon.
often. It doesn't happen very often. But it does happen. Anybody can get a red card. Normally you associate that sort of hard foul with something a defender would likely do. And probably if you penciled it out, that probably is what happens most of the time. But look, part of what Balogun's job is as a striker is to win balls and challenge for balls. And that's what he's doing in that case. And again, he's not trying to hurt the guy. The guy ended up not really even being hurt or do any of those things. He's just trying to challenge for a ball. In normal circumstances, it wouldn't have even, if he puts his foot in the right spot, it's not even a foul. So he just got really unlucky to step on the guy's calf, drag down the calf, and roll the ankle. It's unfortunate. So, what that's going to mean, we can talk about in a little bit as we look ahead to Belgium. I do want to just kind of make sure we're giving our flowers, not only to Balogun. Pulisic didn't score. Pulisic wasn't targeted very much in the first half. But what he's doing is he's taking up so much space on the left-hand side, pulling their defense apart. Yeah. They have to pay attention to him. Every time he had the ball, he was double and triple teamed. That means there's an overload on the other side. So, and I've heard a couple of people being like, Pulisic wasn't very good. Pulisic was great. He did exactly what he's going to do. When we look ahead to Belgium, a team that is going to play more of the game, is going to want the ball more, and therefore is going to be a little more stretched out on the field, I would look for Pulisic to have a much better day because he's going to have more space, as opposed to Bosnia Herzegovina, which is packed into a 5-4-1. They're clogging everything up, and Pulisic doesn't have a lot of room to maneuver. I thought he looked dangerous. Tillman, in my opinion, man of the match, was absolutely incredible, and also had an incredible tournament, which is, I think, which is not necessarily a thing I was expecting. I don't know how you feel, Chandrima, but Malik Tillman was always that guy who plays well for his club team. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga in Germany, but has never
I will never say that.
He's solid, right?
I will never say that. I will never say that.
You'll never say Bayer Leverkusen?
Even a syllable of that I can't get out.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you about. Here's something I learned. Here's why soccer is a learning activity. Yeah. So when you see the symbol for Bayer Leverkusen, it's a circle that has Bayer written on it in two ways. And you know what it looks exactly like? A Bayer aspirin.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Because that's the company. They took that from Bavaria. Bayern is what Bavaria, the region of Germany, is called in German. And so Bayer Leverkusen, it looks like a big aspirin in their logo because that's Bayer aspirin in the United States. Anyway, they say Bayer.
We should all do this. This is fun.
Take two Bayer Leverkusen and call me in the morning.
Let's say you didn't say it. You're underselling yourself.
You said you'd never say it.
You did say it.
Well, yeah, it seems
on that, and now I think it's could be impressive with the ladies. Bayer Leverkusen.
A little Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga.
And
Anyway,
his brother plays
but
in LA, so it's
but-
good to know the name Tillman.
It is. And the thing about Malik Tillman is there are some players who have all the bona fides in the world, and then they show up to U.S. camp and they're just not great. And you're like, what is wrong with this guy? Why isn't he better? And so again, we do have to kneel at the Pochettino altar a little bit.
Yes.
I think the coaching has really brought Malik Tillman out of his shell. He is our most dangerous player. The guy is crazy good. He's really good. Like he is playing a world-class World Cup.
Right. Leave it to an Argentinian to bring and infuse the passion into the players, right? I mean, people have constantly criticized the United States national team for not having enough emotion and not enough creativity, not enough va-va-voom, right? Go get them.
Yep.
But he's brought that, right? And, Tyler Adams recently said Pochettino has changed the whole culture of the team. And you can see it. And so that's like my only hope right now against Belgium is that like mentality, that emotional state is something they can carry through. Like going a man down and staying on top, right? That shows that same passion. And gosh, I really hope that Pochettino has really changed the way they feel about the game.
So I have a questions for the experts. Like, so I mean, in any other sport, this is death. Like you lose your best player, it's like there's no way. So is there a way?
There is absolutely a way. And the other thing I would add to what Chandrima is saying, which is 100% true, the passion, the joy of the game, the confidence the players have, all those sort of intangibles, I think Pochettino has delivered those in spades. The other thing he's delivered is the tactical soundness, right? Each game was different. Paraguay, Australia, Turkey, Bosnia Herzegovina. Each game had different dynamics, different opponents playing different styles. He matched each one perfectly. And you don't see that very often in coaching. It's the difference between like, are we playing a man defense? Are we playing a zone? Are we going to be more on attack? Are we going to be more defensive? It's like all these little moments of how do players invert? Who's now going to go up? Who's going to stay back? Like all those things. I think Pochettino has really nailed it. Does it mean he will nail it for every game? I do not know. But so far, Chandrima, you were referring to our loss against the Dutch in the last World Cup. Like we made it out of the group stage. We got to the knockout rounds. We faced the Dutch. They were coached by a guy named Louis van Gaal. So Van Gaal, he just out-coached our coach at the time, Greg Berhalter. Greg Berhalter wanted to go toe-to-toe with the Dutch. Louis van Gaal said, great, you want to run all over the place and clog up the midfield? We're just going to beat you on the wings, and we got killed. We were not in that game. That's not going to happen with Pochettino. And the other thing I heard Chris Richards, our sort of star center back, say in an interview the other day when they were asking, what do you do with your free time? His response was, what free time? We're watching tape.
That's good.
Right? So like Pochettino has got them. They're watching Belgium game after Belgium game after Belgium game. Right? They are trying to figure out how do we unlock a very, very good team, a team that hasn't had the greatest World Cup, but still a very dangerous team, the most dangerous team we have faced so far. How do you unlock that? And so I don't think it's for lack of preparation or confidence that they're going to be ready for Monday, for sure.
Is Coach Pochettino, is he Italian?
No.
It's an Italian
Argentinian,
name, but he is Argentinian. And in fact, it was hilarious. Again, he loves American country music. He might even listen to Outlaw Country.
I hope it's Outlaw Country.
I was going to say, Mark Hamilton,
stuff.
who fills in on Outlaw Country, a little plug for Mark Hamilton. Maybe he listens to you, Mark.
What is Outlaw Country, guys?
It's a channel on Sirius XM, obviously, Chandrima.
How often is Mark? How often is Country Roads in the rotation?
It's every other song on Outlaw Country.
This
every other song. Wow, really?
We are not playing
it's
John
not
Denver.
almost heavens. West
We
Virginia.
are.
Blue
Yeah,
Ridge
no,
Mountain.
we are way more David Allen Coe than we are John
Shenandoah
Denver.
River.
Oh my God, you guys.
Anyway,
out of
I'm
my
just going to
league
tell this
there.
story and then we're going to go to a break.
Okay.
So Maurizio Pochettino was asked, so he, after the game against Bosnia Herzegovina, they're doing, the whole, everyone's clapping for the fans and all the players are out there hugging and Pochettino's super psyched. And they drop the needle on country roads. It starts blaring through, former Levi Stadium. And Pochettino is singing every word. So in the press conference afterwards, somebody asked him, hey, now that you've won with the national team, there are all these rumors that they are talking about an extension for Pochettino to continue to coach the national team after the World Cup is over, which is a surprise because everyone thought he was a rental who will move on after. He was asked, do you feel a little more American now that you country roads and all this stuff? And he said, no, I am sorry. I am 200% Argentinian.
Yeah.
Which I thought was at least honest. All right, so we are going to congratulations to U.S. men's national team for beating Bosnia Herzegovina. Amazing. We are going to now look ahead to what they do against the Red Devils of Belgium right after this break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Soccer Curious podcast, The Beautiful Game Explained. We are moving on to talk about the U.S. men's next test, the Battle of Seattle, which is coming up on Monday, July 6th, the round of 16 game against the Red Devils of Belgium. So a little context for this. So back in March, when the U.S. and all national teams were playing friendlies just to get some game experience coming up to the World Cup, the U.S. played Belgium in a friendly. We didn't have our same personnel, neither did they, by the way, and it is a friendly, which means that after halftime, there's tons of subs. You're not restricted to 5 subs in a friendly. You can sub as many people as you want, including like the towel boy if you want. But the U.S. ended up losing that game 2-5. Most of those goals, though, were piled on in the second half when we had subbed in a lot of people. And honestly, most everybody, including me, thought for the first 25, 30 minutes of the game, the U.S. was actually the stronger side. Like, we were taking it to Belgium pretty well. We had one big issue, which we will not have in this game, which is that Belgium has this amazing winger who's a guy named Jeremy Doku. And he was playing on the left side, which is his preferred side. But our right back was at that time Tim Weah. Okay. So we are not going to have Tim Weah as our right back, but Weah spent the entire game getting cooked by Jeremy Doku. Like Jeremy Doku was a world-class winger. He could not keep up with him, and it was painful to watch. So that won't be the case here. Jeremy Doku also, in the middle of the World Cup, had to leave to go back to Belgium for the birth of his child and has now come back. So Jeremy Doku is great. He's an amazing player. I hope he's jet lagged. And also, he will not be playing against Tim Weah. Serginho Dest is out on the right-hand side. Alex Freeman is out on the right-hand side. Neither of those were playing that game. So, I think there's some room to grow there. But let's go through and talk about the rest of what we think about Belgium. I don't think they've had a particularly strong World Cup. I think Vegas is looking this as a pretty even bet, to be honest. The U.S. is perfectly capable of winning this game. I don't know what you guys have heard about it so far.
Well, the only thing I've heard is the controversy about can we do it now that Balogun is out. But
Gotcha.
you reinstilled optimism in me. Prior to that, I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Now, I heard a horrible rumor that Christian Pulisic isn't going to play this game. Now, it was just a couple of ladies in the supermarket, but still, I heard it.
Well, you
I'm
should
not
go
even
back to
making
that
this up.
supermarket and tell these two ladies there's no effing way, unless they
he's healthy.
sawed off one of his legs, that he's not playing this game.
So he's not hurt again. He's
Yeah,
ready.
the odds, I did see latest odds. US has that margin, like a slight margin, right, of victory. So
Really?
Well,
Wow.
Yeah, and here's why. Number one, the U.S. is playing really well. So momentum matters. So that's an important one. Belgium, so they had their round of 32 game was against Senegal. Senegal is a very, very strong team.
And they should have won that.
And Senegal should have won that game. They went up 2-0, and then they didn't do what the U.S. did against Bosnia, which is they didn't see out the game as they should have, and they let Belgium back into the game. I will say there was some well-timed subs, including a guy named Romelu Lukaku, who is a big target striker who came in the second half and ended up scoring a goal and just being... He is a bull in a china shop sort of player. When I say target striker, I mean he's a big dude who you can get the ball to. You use him as a target. You're constantly, when you're looking up to pass a ball, you're just looking for, like, where is the bald head of Lukaku? And that's where you try to send the ball. And the guy's an incredible finisher. The problem that Lukaku has had is he's had some injuries this season, so he's barely played for his club team. So he is not what they call match fit. He's not ready. He can't play the whole 90 minutes. So if you start Lukaku, you're pulling him. And if you don't start Lukaku, he's coming in later. He will certainly come in. But the idea that he'll play the whole game is probably not true. The other guy you got to watch on Belgium. Go ahead, Gary.
There's a very positive correlation between great players and impossibly difficult names to pronounce.
Messi.
That's interesting.
Messi.
That's true.
Okay,
Messi's
there's an anomaly.
Messi's a violation
in
of the
every
rule.
model,
Yeah.
Pele.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Pele obviously shortened his name because his name was originally something like Romelu Kakatu.
Oh boy.
Romelu Lukaku. We're just gonna mispronounce his name to make him angry, and maybe he'll play poorly.
You don't want to get him angry.
Yeah, the other guy that you got to watch, and is someone I'm very, very familiar with because he is also a key player on Arsenal. Go Gunners! Is Leandro Trossard. So this guy, Leandro Trossard, is this diminutive guy. He's like the opposite of Lukaku. He's a little slip of a thing. He is a very, very creative player, great on the ball, can hit the ball with his left or his right, scores some amazing goals. And I've heard other commentators say they feel like he's been the best Belgian on the team in this cycle and for this tournament. He has been very, very good. So he will have to be contained. He's not the quickest or any of that. He's just a very, very slippery player. So somebody is going to have to make sure that Trossard is not bombing down. He likes to play the left side, and that leaves Doku on the right. I would say that is where they are strongest. Their two wings are probably their best players. They're not as good sort of centrally, especially defensive mids. And I would say their two center backs are probably the weakest part of the team. So this now leads us to, what do we do about the loss of Balogun? Because it's a big problem. So I don't know, Chandrima, what have you been thinking about?
Jersey.
What was that?
Put him in another jersey.
Yeah.
Well, we have Pepe. Ricardo Pepe is coming in, and we got Haji Wright, who I know. Look, first of all,
I like him. I like Haji.
He's LA. He's LA born and raised, right?
Yes.
So something.
I love him, man.
A lot of experience. He's played in Turkey. He's played he's helped Team Coventry City.
Yeah, they're now going to the Prem.
Promotion, right?
Yep,
he helped them get promoted to the Premier League. Okay, so true, he's not gotten World Cup minutes this time. But last cycle, he actually accidentally scored, guys.
He did score in the last World Cup
and
as a sub. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
You just want him up there. And by accident, their head's going to hit the ball, Brian.
He is Haji Wright is a big, like, Lukaku-sized dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So you don't have Fuller and Balogun. So you have you have a couple options. You have Ricardo Pepi, who's a guy from Texas who plays for PSV Eindhoven in the Dutch league. He's a very good player. He scores a lot of goals. He's got a great nose for goal. He is not the same player as Balogun. Balogun's big strength is knowing when to time his run to get in behind the defense, and suddenly it's like one on the keeper and he scores. Pepe's a little more of like a hold-up player, meaning you get the ball to him when he has his back to the net and he sort of has to turn and go. He's a little slower, probably, but a tall, rangy guy with long legs who knows how to shoot the ball and has scored a lot of goals in the Dutch league. So one of the top goal scorers in the Dutch league. So he's no slouch. And there was a time when it was unclear whether Balogun or Pepe would be the starting striker. So, do you give up something? I think you do. So that has led to a lot of talk of whether or not you want to deploy what is called in the soccer business a false nine.
Yeah.
So a false nine, the 9 is normally the jersey number that in history is worn by the striker. Okay. Not every striker wears number 9. In this case, Ricardo Pepi actually does wear the number 9. But anyway, a false 9 is when you put somebody who's more of a midfield player in that striker position, and all they're there to do is occupy defenders, and when they get a ball, lay it out to the wings. Lay it out to Pulisic as he's trying to score. I don't know if you saw in the game against Bosnia, at one point Malik Tillman gets a ball. He's getting pressed down to the corner, and he sees Pulisic out of the corner of his eye going, and he does a heel flick and flicks the ball backwards.
Yeah, I did see that.
Remember this?
That was great. Yeah.
Right. That level of play is what you're expecting of a Christian Pulisic, a guy who's going to get balls and crash the net and score goals. So in a false 9 scenario, you would have a person who's laying balls off to Dest and to Tillman and to Weston McKennie and scoring themselves when they've got the opportunity and have a look at the net. But it's a way to play without a striker. Do I think he's going to do that? I don't know. But I will tell you that people prognosticating what Mauricio Pochettino is going to do, that has not worked. Because whatever people think he's going to do, he does something completely different. And by the way, keeps it very close to the vest. And literally 30 minutes before the game, I'm looking on my phone going, oh my God, that's the lineup? It's crazy. So expect the unexpected with Pochettino is the one thing that you can say.
So can I say Gio Reyna now?
100%. Because I think... Okay,
unexpected.
go ahead.
He does unexpected things, and you're right. Brian is right. We don't have that unexpected speed out there, right? Not without
Bellingham.
Yeah. So I think that it's his time, and I think he's going to do more than whatever it is. Like come in in the 66th minute or the 80th minute. I think he's going to be playing a little bit more. He's got some minutes under his belt now, and. Mauricio, he likes them, right? He comes through for him when the going gets tough.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. But
right. So in a false 9 scenario, I actually think Gio Reyna, who's is bigger than you think. He's like a little, not very huge, but he's a big, tall guy. He would not be a bad false 9. He's not done a lot in this World Cup, you have to say.
No, not yet.
He has not been. He's not been the Gio Reyna of old, where slipping the no-look passes and all that stuff. He also hasn't got a lot of minutes. And by the way, Haji Wright, who you were mentioning, I think he's played 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. I had him at 0. Okay, 2.
No, he did play in the first game. He came in mop-up duty against Paraguay, but barely. He's just not, and that makes me worry that he's not trusted by Pochettino. So
nobody wants to mop up duty.
No one.
No.
No, you do not.
No,
but not without a mask.
Laid it out.
I mean, what a story it would be. That's what the journalist in me wants, right, Brian?
Of course. I would love. Oh God.
And Gary, you've heard me talk about Gio before, like the bad boy of U.S. soccer coming in, and
it would be an amazing redemption story. It would be amazing.
I would not know and love Gio Reyna had it not been for you, Chandrima.
That's true. Exactly.
I think not heard of Gio Reyna
you introduced
until now.
Gio a long time ago to this audience, and me too. And believe me, Gio has a great set of skills to do some great things. What I will say is, in the Pochettino system, in which you've got these 2 holding mids, Tyler Adams, and let's just say it's Malik Tillman, and then Weston McKennie's a little bit north of that, and then McKennie and Tillman are switching back and forth. There's not as much space for Gio to play. There's not a role for Gio there, because Gio is not that type of... Tillman and McKennie, they have a lot of similarities, the way they sort of bomb after the ball, and there's McKennie, of course, is... I just love the McKennie story, because this is the guy of the famous how much he loves ranch dressing and French fries and all this stuff. But he has dropped a bunch of weight and is now super athletic and has had an amazing tournament. amazing. He's been so good for us. So we'll see. I mean, it's really, I mean, you could put McKennie up there, by the way. McKennie has played every position for Juventus, his club team, except goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So he's played the 9. Do you take him away from where he's been so effective? I wouldn't. There's sort of a rule about when you're missing one player, do you make 2 position switches to fix the one player? That's probably not the best idea, but
Right.
you
What
know,
does that mean? He's played the 9. Aren't there 11?
he's played the 9 position. He's played the forward, the striker position,
okay,
which is often
yes,
referred
the
to as
false
the
9.
9. Yeah,
Gotcha.
there's a lot of numbers that get thrown around in soccer, and for the soccer learner, just understand. Sometimes people say, "Oh, the 6," and they mean a defensive midfielder, or the 10, who's like a central midfielder, distributes the ball, right? And the number 9 is generally the striker, the Romelu Lukaku.
No one's
Fear
brought
his
up
name.
the goalkeeper yet. Our goalkeeper.
Matt.
You know, the last time we
You know,
played
Matt.
Belgium,
Matt.
you guys know Matt, right?
Yeah.
But we just call him Matt.
You know, the last time we played Belgium in the World Cup, boy, our goalkeeper.
Oh, that's a great. I forgot
Tim
about that.
Howard,
Tell us that story.
Secretary of Defense,
Yeah.
you know, like, how many saves did he make that day? I don't know, but he was like
It's something in the
16.
teens. I can't remember. Is it 16?
16.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, so you remember,
Which is still a record.
Stunning.
16 saves.
16 saves.
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be up against some heavy pressure.
Oh, I don't
know you
know.
don't see it, Brian.
But here's the thing. That was a long time ago. Number one.
Same
Number one.
players.
It's not the same players. They've, this is
Well,
there's no more
couple.
Vincent Company and there's no
Okay,
more
you're
Eden Hazard. Those
Okay.
guys are gone.
Thank God.
And here's the thing about Belgium, and we'll get into a little bit positives and negatives on Belgium. So the thing about Belgium is that a couple cycles ago, in Brazil and then in Russia, they had their golden generation of Belgian soccer, and everyone thought this is it. They are going to win the World Cup, and they fell short each time and didn't win. They did have that great game against the U.S. in Brazil where Tim Howard, and somebody changed the Wikipedia for Secretary of Defense to have his name instead. It was hilarious because he was so amazing. Stood on his head to keep us in the game. Then Chris Wondolowski missed a total sitter, for which I have never forgiven him. Is that Thunder? Holy God.
Thunder, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Dude, you know what? The
Wow.
Northeast.
That's cool.
The
I'm
Northeast.
so sorry.
Well, I sent a picture
That's all
around the
right.
other night to you guys of like watching the game with flash flood warnings going across with the going across the
We're
screen.
not
It's like,
blaming
what
you
is
for the
that?
weather, Chandrima.
Well, no,
We're-
I mean, I
not
did
yet.
a sound check with them earlier. I'm like, oh no, there wasn't thunder.
Thank God it was Thunder. Anyway, but that generation that has aged, right? So now there's like Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is is a world-class player. Played for Man City for a number of years, won every trophy in you could possibly win.
Sang for Quiet Riot.
Sang for Quiet Riot. And he is probably coming to MLS, would be my guess, is his next stop after Napoli. But like, he's older, so he doesn't even play full game. He was like their amazing distributor of the ball. The guy can strike it from anywhere. Such a good player. But he's now coming out in the 70th minute because he doesn't have the legs anymore. So if this is a time if we're gonna beat Belgium, this is a good time to beat Belgium. The stars are aligning for us that we're finding a Belgium team that is not as burnished as they once were, and the U.S. is playing out of their minds. Okay, so the negatives on Belgium, they've struggled to score a little bit. They've had a 0-0, they've had a 1-1. Their defense can be a little bit leaky, and I think the way our offense is playing, like quick recycles of the ball, the wings, Pulisic bombing down the left with Anthony Robinson, Serginho Dest doing the same thing on the right with Alex Freeman, and the way that Tyler Adams and McKinney and Tillman are interacting in that little triangle in the middle, we are churning opportunities. And I think that will be a struggle for Belgium's central defense. They're positives. They are Belgium. They have quite a pedigree of being a successful team. They're going to
They
walk in there
invented the French fry.
Yeah, the waffle.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate.
That movie In Bruges.
Walloon. They've got things going for them. They also
not
do
to
have,
love.
speaking of keepers, they have Thibaut Courtois. and Thibaut
Which is
Courtois.
Flemish for not getting past me.
Exactly. No balls in the net, which has other meanings. But anyhow, Thibaut Courtois is a world-class goalkeeper. He plays for Real Madrid, one of the best club teams on the planet. He's enormous. And unlike our goalkeepers, who you sometimes worry when the ball is headed toward the net whether or not they're going to save it, Thibaut Courtois is a wall. So he's hard to score on. So just so you know. Again, Senegal did it the other day. They were 2 goals to the good and just couldn't hang on. But anyway, they have room to be better. A lot of people are worried, when is Belgium finally going to catch fire and get going? So this could be their time. We just hope that it is not. And the last thing I will say about this is the X factor, I really do believe, is Pochettino. I think Pochettino and his staff have these guys ready to play. You know, after the Bosnia game, not only was he lip syncing Country Roads, but they got the team all together after they had clapped for the fans, everything in a big circle. They were all hanging onto each other's shoulders, subs, starters, coaching staff, everybody. And they had like a big moment. And I saw Tim Weah, who didn't play in the game at all, had a terrible game against Turkey, wearing the little sub bib you have to wear when you're a sub on the sideline. You can't just be in your uni. You have to wear this little festive bib. He's wearing the bib, smiling from ear to ear. The guy looked ecstatically happy. And that is not easy to do, is managing 26 egos. And Pochettino was in there holding on to everybody. And like Mark McKenzie, who apparently has a knock and is now injured, was in the middle of the thing giving some speech. Mark McKenzie, a guy who's not a starter. And they were all really into it. And I thought, wow, this team is like psyched.
Yeah.
So we're going to either take this one 2-1 in overtime or the shootout.
Okay. Hamilton
Score
planting the flag on 2-1 in the extra time, or going presumably 1-1 into the shootout and winning the shootout.
Wow.
I predict three nutmegs.
You're saying three nutmegs.
Three
Which
nutmegs.
side?
Anyway, just if there
I'm
was
not
nutmeg,
responsible for that. Just total 3 nutmegs.
and every time
I'll take the
there's
over
a
on
nutmeg
that.
you drink.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Chandrima, what do you think? What's your
My only
prognostication?
prediction was Gio Reyna, Brian. That's all
Okay.
So
I love
Gio
this.
Reyna.
he gets one.
Go
Bring the
Gio
Thunder
Reyna.
and the Reyna.
I think if we can get him back to who he was, a little bit reckless, a little bit nerve-wracking, then he can score. But if he's calm and precise and a dad, I don't know, Brian. I don't.
Gio
like
Reyna,
that.
the outlaw. That's who we
Yeah.
want.
I
We
hear
want the
becoming a
outlaw.
dad changes you. Is this
Yeah.
true? Do you guys, would you
It
agree?
can, yeah. It does. It does in
Yeah.
profound
No
ways.
idea.
How it impacts your soccer game. I think I actually became a better soccer player after I was a dad.
Okay. Okay.
Because I also did a lot of coaching and refereeing, and that put me closer to the game, probably. Okay,
have
so
a
I'm going to say,
question.
so in the last one, I was saying I thought Bosnia Herzegovina, that would go 3-1. I was wrong. It was 2-0, but I did have the right spread, so I was happy with that. So I'm going to say in this game, I'm going to say 2-1 U.S. in regular time. So here's what we have.
Wow.
I'm saying 2-1 U.S. in regular. Chandrima's only saying Gio plays.
I'm too scared.
Gary's saying 3 nutmegs, and Mark is saying 1-1 and winning it in extra time or in kicks from the mark. Have I got that all correct?
You've got it.
Yeah, and the winner gets $100,000.
Sweet. I have a serious question though,
Yes.
which is related to all games. Has any child who has ever participated in the walkout later grown up to play in the World Cup?
That is an excellent question, and I do not know the answer to that.
I almost
That's
want to
like,
say
you know,
no, but I don't know.
It's a
I don't
tease
know,
for next
Brian.
time.
Yeah.
We'll
have to
answer it
check
on.
that.
You have to tune in again to hear the
yeah, you
answer.
have to tune in to hear this answer, because maybe we will
And
hear
to find
this.
out whether or not the
I would
US
not be
beats
surprised. I would not be surprised, because a lot of kids who are around the game really early, you know where they're getting those kids is from like, youth leagues, youth soccer leagues is where they get those walkout kids. My My daughter did it at an LA Galaxy game
Is she
where they
now
got
a
to
pro?
walk out with the players. And so they're getting those kids from soccer leagues, and those kids who are really interested in soccer, you got to believe they're a lot more interested. You get to walk out holding Fuller and Balogun's hand. You must be like, boom, let's go. You must be stoked. So,
Oh, the heartbreak that kid suffered with the red card.
yeah, nice going, kid. You ruined it for everybody.
Now that kid's gonna carry water and towels.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
curious, guys. Mark, Gary, Brian, like, who are your favorite players for the U.S. so far? Player. I'm gonna let one per.
Ooh.
Well,
Doesn't-
me, it's
nobody- Everybody doesn't
Ricardo
have to say
Pepi.
Balogun. Pepi.
You're
Ricardo
right.
Pepi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got big shoes to fill, and he needs your support. I like that. I'm going to say I think my favorite player so far has been Malik Tillman.
Yeah.
Really good. I'm just so happy to see him have success. He's such a strong player, and he's playing with a ton of brass right now. I mean, though that little heel flick, that wasn't even his first one in that game. That little heel flick to Pulisic, that's somebody who's feeling it. That's somebody who's like, let's go. This is like backyard soccer. Let's win this game. Let's go. And I just love that.
I'm gonna stick with the having been there when the Patriots started their run and decided they wouldn't be introduced individually and they would come out as a team at that first Super Bowl. I'm gonna say I like the team.
Oh, look at you.
However,
Uh-oh.
I identify with the dude who got the red card because I'm not always guilty, but I do take a lot of heat.
Yeah,
I see.
Balogun.
I see. Okay. All right.
So I
little bit.
identify when I also like crushing goals
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
and breaking hearts,
And Chandrima, are you going to say
tuning up the enemy.
I'm gonna be sentimental and say Tyler Adams.
Gino.
It's always a good
All
choice.
right. It's. I mean, having researched him for so long and seeing all the injury spells he's gone through since the previous World Cup.
Yeah.
Wow, I am just astounded that he is playing. He is healthy and
So great.
Just what a leader on the field,
Wappingers Falls own
right?
Tyler Adams.
Wappingers Falls. How many
Wappingers
returning players does this U.S. team have?
Returning from what?
From the last
Last time's World Cup.
Oh,
Vietnam.
one.
Quite a few.
There's a good
Quite a
amount.
few.
I don't remember the number.
I would
anymore.
say at least half of the starting players played in the last World Cup. We'll have to look that one up. All right, but we got to go. This thing is wrapped. Thank you so much to Chandrima and Gary and Mark for joining me.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and do all that stuff. If you have a comment or question, you can also email us at soccercuriouspodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget, the game, the round of 16 game, U.S. against Belgium, is Monday, July 6th. So tune in and support the U.S. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.